or wrong. A moral decision. Like other moral decisions, it will have an effect on other people, make them also choose right from wrong. The watchman has made his decision.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to our video presentation on cross-cultural communication and negotiation. We are from Group 1 consisting of 6 members. My name is Wan Anissa Hira binti Abdullah Sani. For our exploration, we have chosen Singapore, a vibrant and diverse nation that stands at the crossroads of global business. But why Singapore? This small city-state might cover just 728 square kilometers, but its impact on international business is enormous. Singapore is one of the world's top trading hubs and ranks among the easiest places to do business globally. Singapore's strategic location at the heart of Asia makes it a key player in international trade and negotiation. It is often seen as a gateway to the rest of Asia, connecting businesses from all over the world.
Every time I go away for a holiday, when I say I'm a Singaporean, they always ask me, so you are Chinese? I said, no, I'm not. I'm Indian. Then I have to explain the whole situation, the whole story about why Singapore is a multiracial country, but a lot of people think Singapore is in China.
But it is not just geography that makes Singapore special. Singapore is a melting pot of cultures with a population made up of Chinese, Malay, Indian and expatriates all over the globe. This cultural diversity creates a rich environment for understanding how communication and negotiation vary across different cultural contexts. In business, Singapore is known for its professionalism, efficiency, and ability to blend traditional Asian values with modern global practices. This unique mix makes Singapore an excellent case study for exploring how cross-cultural communication and negotiation can thrive in a multicultural setting. Singapore's relevance to international business is undeniable. With over 7,000 multinational corporations operating in the country, it is hub for negotiation across cultures. Understanding Singapore's approach to communication and negotiation can offer valuable insights for businesses aiming to succeed in Asia and beyond. So, throughout this video, we will dive deep into Singapore's negotiation tips and processes, bargaining behaviors, decision-making processes, communication style, and conflict management. So, let's get started and uncover the secret behind Singapore's success in cross-cultural business.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Aisha binti Afan and I'll be sharing about negotiation tips based on Singapore. So here's the scenario. Company A, Diane, a US-based tech firm, is meeting with Company B, Rina, a Singaporean software company, to discuss a potential partnership. So the focus is on building rapport before diving into business discussions. So watch the next video to see how Singaporeans negotiate. Oh, hi Diane! Welcome to Singapore! It's great to finally meet you in person. How was your flight yesterday? Thank you, Rina. It was quite long, but I'm excited to be here. Singapore is beautiful. Have you explored the city yet? Well, I was super tired last night. I couldn't get the chance to explore the beautiful Singapore, but I'm craving for Singapore's chicken rice. Ah, that's nice. You should definitely try our chicken rice at the Balestier Road. I appreciate your time to visit us. So before we dive into our discussion, I would love to hear more about your company's mission and vision. Absolutely. So basically at Company A, we believe in innovation and collaboration. We aim to create technology that enhances user experience while fostering strong partnerships. In Singaporean culture, jumping straight into negotiations without first establishing a connection can come across as impersonal or overly transactional. Why? Because trust and relationships are the foundation of the successful partnerships here. Now, let's connect these two key cultural dimensions: high power distance and low individualism. So first, Singapore scores high on power distance, meaning there is a strong respect for hierarchy and authority. So this respect extends to how relationships are formed. For example, when meeting with a senior representative, it is important to acknowledge their position and engage with them respectfully. So building trust often involves recognizing authority and showing that you value their leadership. Second, Singapore scores low on individualism, which means it is a collectivist society. Here, people prioritize group harmony and long-term relationships over individual achievements. This is why informal conversations like sharing stories about your background or showing interest in their culture are so important. It signals that you are not just here for short-term gains, but that you genuinely value the partnership and are invested in building something meaningful together. So, how do you build trust in this context? Start with informal conversations about shared interests or experiences. For example, if you have tried local dishes like chicken rice or laksa, mention it. This shows that you have taken an interest in their culture, which helps create a positive atmosphere. Also, keep in mind that Singaporeans value harmony due to their collectivist mindset. Avoid being overly direct or confrontational during these initial discussions. It's better to ease into topics naturally while maintaining politeness and respect for hierarchy. So by taking the time to build trust before diving into business discussions, you are signaling that you value the relationship beyond just closing a deal. This approach aligns perfectly with Singapore's preference for long-term partnerships over short-term transactions. So that is all from me. So we're gonna move to the next person. Now let's move on to bargaining. Here's the scenario. So after building a rapport during their initial meetings, Diane, Company A, and Rina, Company B, begin discussing the terms of their partnership for developing new software. So the focus is on using a collaborative approach to ensure mutual benefit. So watch the next video to see how Singaporeans bargain. Now, since that we've gotten to know each other better, let's talk about how we can work together on this software project. I believe there's great potential for both our companies. I agree. I think our expertise in AI can complement your local market knowledge perfectly. Exactly. Instead of focusing on just what each of us can bring individually, let's brainstorm how we can combine our strengths for mutual benefits. What are your thoughts on that? That sounds like a great idea. I propose we outline our key strengths and see how they align with your needs. For instance, we excel in developing user-friendly interfaces. That's important for our target audience. We could also leverage your technology to enhance our existing products. How about we create a joint task force to explore this further? What do you think? In Singaporean culture, the approach to bargaining is often characterized by a strong preference for collaboration over confrontation. This is rooted in the cultural dimension of low individualism, where group harmony and collective success are prioritized over personal gain. As a result, negotiators in Singapore typically seek win-win outcomes that benefits all parties involved. So, what does collaborative bargaining look like in practice? So first and foremost, it involves open communication instead of adopting an adversarial stance. Parties are encouraged to share their needs and interests openly. So this creates an environment where both sides can explore creative solutions that satisfy everyone's objectives. For example, rather than insisting on a fixed price or rigid terms, negotiators might discuss the value each party brings to the table. This could involve exploring flexible pricing options or additional services that enhance the overall deal. The goal is to find common ground that fosters mutual benefit. Additionally, patience is key in Singaporean bargaining. Negotiations may take longer than expected as parties work towards consensus. It is important to remain patient and respectful throughout the process, as this reinforces trust and goodwill between negotiators. Another crucial element is the emphasis on maintaining relationships. In Singapore, successful bargaining goes beyond just closing a deal. It's about building long-term relationships. Therefore, negotiators should focus on creating a positive atmosphere where all parties feel valued and respected. So in conclusion, collaborative bargaining in Singapore is about fostering cooperation, open communication, and long-term relationships. By prioritizing these elements, negotiators can achieve outcomes that are beneficial for everyone involved.
Hi, my name is Narayan Johar. So I will explain about the decision making in Singapore. Firstly, collectivism versus individualism. Singapore's cultural landscape is a unique fusion of collectivist and individualist elements, primarily driven by its diverse multicultural society. But it tends to score higher in collectivism with an emphasis on group harmony and social cohesion. Individualistic values also manifest, especially in a modern globalized economy. Collectivism is evident in the importance placed on consensus building, whether in family decision, the workplace, or government policy making. For instance, decisions in the workplace often prioritize team collaboration in maintaining harmony, with leaders seeking input from all levels before making a final call. So secondly, we have for power distance in Singapore score moderate height on the power distance index, its PDI, indicating the hierarchical structures and respect for authority play a significant role in decision-making process. For example, in a corporate setting, while team members might provide input, the final decision often made by senior leadership, who are trusted to make the best decision for the organization. Thirdly, in Singapore, hierarchy and respect for authority are their component of the power distance index PDI. In Singapore, there is a strong cultural emphasis on respecting authority figures such as senior manager, government official, and elders. This respect is ingrained from a young age and is reflected in various areas of life, including the workplace, education, and family life, such as employees tend to defer to the superior and avoid openly challenging or disagree with them in public. There is an understanding that senior leader or manager hold the responsibility for making final decision. Fourthly, Singapore has moderately masculine society, which means that while achievement and success are valued, work-life balance and quality of life are still important. In Singapore, achievement and success are highly valued, which aligns with a masculine culture orientation. Ambition is encouraged and high performance in a both professional and academic setting is expected and celebrated. For example, employees in Singapore might receive bonus, promotion, or public recognition for meeting challenge sales target or business milestones, showing their success in reward and value. Lastly, in Singapore, the indulgence versus restraint dimension is an interesting aspect to explore, as Singapore is generally considered a society with high restraint tendencies. Singapore emphasizes discipline, self-control, and conformity to social norms. There is a strong focus on maintaining order, following rules, and adhering to regulation. For example, Singaporeans are known for their strong work ethic, often prioritize career and financial success over immediate gratifications. Leisure activities are generally well balanced and tend to be more restrained compared to a society with higher indulgence levels. In Singapore, a good example of company that exemplifies a collectivist approach team culture in Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines (SIA) has long been known for its focus on teamwork and collaboration, which aligns with a collectivist approach. Here's how this manifests in their operation. First of all, teamwork in service delivery. Singapore Airlines emphasize teamwork among its cabin crew and ground staff. Crew members work closely together to ensure a seamless and high-quality customer experience. From check-in to in-flight service, the collective effort of all team members is vital to airlines' renewed service. Next, training and development. Singapore Airlines invests heavily in training its employees, emphasizing the importance of working as a comprehensive unit. Their training program focuses not only technical skill, but also on the value of cooperation and mutual support with teams. Cabin crew, for instance, are training to work efficiently together, even in high-pressure situations.
kind of situations that happen on board. There's the saying that teamwork makes the dream work. I think I didn't realize the significance of it until I went on board and I saw the crew working. Not only were they complementing each other on their duties, but also they were actually taking care of one another. So moving forward, I think I would strive to look out and take care of my fellow crew.
And finally, after 3 months, Batch 6 is finally ready to spread their wings.
That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ninor Alisa Najwa and today I will be sharing about communication styles in Singapore. I will explain both verbal and non-verbal communication styles and how this impact negotiation outcomes. Singapore is a unique country because it has people from many cultures such as Chinese, Malay, Indian and Western influence. This makes communication in Singapore very interesting but also important to understand, especially in business. Let's begin. First, let's talk about verbal communication in Singapore. In Singapore, people speak politely and indirectly. For example, instead of saying, "I disagree," but they might say, "I think we should consider other options." This helps to avoid arguments and keep relationship friendly. Singaporeans don't like to embrace others to make anyone feel uncomfortable, so they choose their words carefully. Another important thing is the language. Singaporeans speak English in business, but they also use Malay, Mandarin, Tamil, and even Singlish. Singlish is a mix of English with local language and it used in formal conversations. So this is an example of Singapore Singlish phrase.
In Singapore, we don't say, actually, I don't think this is the best course of action, but if you really want to do it this way, then technically it's still okay. Instead, we say, can is can.
However, in business, people are more formal. They speak clear English and use titles like Mr., Miss, or Doctor when addressing someone. This shows respect especially to older people or higher-ranking professionals. Now let's look at non-verbal communication in Singapore. Body language is subtle in Singapore. People don't make big hand gestures or show a lot of emotions on their face, especially in business. For example, if they are happy with your idea, they might smile slightly instead of clapping or cheering. Eye contact is another important point. In Singapore, people make eye contact to show interest but they don't stare for too long. Staring can make people uncomfortable. At the same time, avoiding eye contact can also mean respect, especially when talking to someone older of a higher status. Finally, personal space is very important. Singaporeans like to keep a small distance when talking. Shaking hands is common but only briefly. Touching someone like on the shoulder or arm is not common unless you know the person well. Now, let me show you 2 examples of communication styles in Singapore. This will help you understand how verbal and non-verbal communication work in real situations. I think this project will take longer than we planned. That's a good point. Maybe we can look at other solutions to manage the timeline better. Here you can see how Singaporeans use polite and indirect words to avoid disagreements.
Proper pointing. In Singapore, proper pointing reflects politeness. Using the index finger is considered rude. Instead, the whole hand or palm is preferred, promoting harmony and positive interaction in a diverse society.
This example shows how understanding Singapore's communication styles helps avoid misunderstandings. To summarize, communication in Singapore is polite, indirect, and professional. Verbal communication focuses on respect and harmony, while non-verbal cues are subtle but meaningful. These styles are important in negotiation because they help to build trust, avoid conflict, and create long-term relationships. If you understand and adapt to these styles, you can succeed in business with Singaporeans. Thank you for listening.
Hi Anna, welcome to Singapore. Thank you so much, Farah. I hope you have been enjoying your visit so far. It's been wonderful, but I do have a question about something that came up in our business discussion. How do people here handle conflicts? I know Singapore is a multicultural place, so I'm curious. It's a great question, Anna. Yes, and you are right. Singapore is very diverse with people from Chinese, Malay, Indian, and other backgrounds. So this diversity means that we have some unique strategies for managing conflicts. Oh, that sounds interesting. Can you tell me more? Oh yeah, sure, of course. First, we have to focus on respecting diversity. In Singapore, it's very essential to understand and appreciate each other's cultures. So this will prevent misunderstanding from escalating into conflicts. I see. So being aware of cultural differences is key? Yes, exactly. Next, we often use mediators to resolve conflicts. If two parties can't agree, a neutral third party like a manager or leader step in to help. Oh, okay, that's smart. So it keeps the situation from becoming too personal. Yes, absolutely. And another important strategy is open communication. Here we encourage calm and respectful decision. It's all about understanding each other's perspectives. That's a great idea. It must help people appreciate the value of living peacefully together. Yes, definitely. And the government also plays a big role by supporting harmony. For example, in here, Singapore, we have initiative like Racial Harmony Day to promote understanding and unity. I like that. Clear and calm conversation can solve a lot of problems. It does. And we also have educational campaigns to remind people to respect our differences and work together. Okay, so these strategies sound effective. But how does Singapore's culture influence the way people handle conflicts? Oh, good question. Okay, let me explain. In Singapore, many people come from a collectivist culture where the group is more important than the individual. So when there's a conflict, the focus is on finding a solution that keeps everyone happy. So people here are more likely to compromise than insist on getting younger. Yes, exactly. And another cultural value is respect for elders and authority. If there's a dispute, people often look to someone senior or in a leadership role to guide them. That's a practical approach. Yes, it is. Plus, many cultures here value harmony, so people prefer to resolve conflicts quietly to avoid damaging relationships. Okay, that's so thoughtful. So, relationships seems to be a big priority here, right? Yes, they are. And lastly, there's the indirect communication style. Instead of saying something directly, people might use gentler language to avoid offending. Like saying, let's consider another option instead of that is wrong. Yeah, exactly. It's a way of solving problems without causing unnecessary tension. Okay, thank you, Farah. Thank you so much. This has been so helpful. I will definitely keep these strategies and cultures value in mind during my work here. Yeah, you are welcome, Hannah. And remember, in Singapore, it's all about respect, understanding, and finding peaceful solutions. And I'm sure you will do great. Okay, thank you again, Farah. And I'm excited to apply what I've learned from you.
Hi everyone, my name is Emilia Emuda, and I assume you have already watched the discussion between Farah and Anna. So let me summarize the key point for you so that you could understand better about how to manage conflict in Singapore and how cultural value affect the way people solve conflicts. What strategies do they use? First, respect for diversity. Second, use mediators. Third, open communication. Fourth, government support. And lastly, educational campaigns. So, how do cultural values influence conflict resolution? Cultural values are like the rules people follow in their daily life, what they believe is important, or how they think people should behave. These values can really affect how people solve conflicts. For example, through collectivist cultures, respect for elders and authority, harmony is key, and indirect communication. And I think that is all from me. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding culture is the key to solving problems peacefully. Till next time!
As we conclude our exploration of cross-cultural communication and negotiation in Singapore, let's reflect on the key insights we have uncovered. First, we learned that Singapore's multicultural environment creates a unique business ecosystem where respect, adaptability, and clarity are essential for successful communication. English serves as the primary language, but non-verbal cues and cultural sensitivities play a significant role. In negotiation, Singaporean professionals value trust, logic, and efficiency. Their approach often blends traditional Asian values such as harmony and respect for authority with Western business practices that emphasize data and results. Decision-making in Singapore reflects a balance between centralized authority and collaborative inputs. This allows them to maintain speed and precision while considering diverse perspectives. Conflict management strategies in Singapore prioritize perceiving relationships and finding win-win solutions. This reflects their strong emphasis on harmony and pragmatism in resolving disputes. So, what can we take away from all of this? Singapore teaches us that success in international business relies on understanding and respecting cultural differences while staying adaptable and professional. These lessons go beyond Singapore. In today's globalized world, cultural awareness is not just an asset, it is a necessity. Whether negotiating deals, managing teams, or resolving conflicts, the ability to navigate cross-cultural dynamics can lead to a better relationship and more effective outcomes. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Singapore's cross-cultural business practices. We hope this inspires you to embrace cultural diversity and apply these lessons in your international business endeavors. See you next time. Assalamualaikum.